Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon.
So when we join TAS and we hear about all the leaders in the Tata Group and we hear about their journeys, yours is one of our favorite success stories. That's why I'm feeling extremely honored to be interviewing you. And I'd like to start with Tata Chemicals. What are some of the big initiatives planned for Tata Chemicals this year?
Tata Chemicals is a company in transformation. It's been in transformation for the last 10 years. We've been trying to move the needle of this company from a large industrial chemical company to something which is going to be fairly asset light and focused on consumer products, focused on innovation. So we built a big R&D center in Pune on nanotechnology, on biotechnology. It was a leap of faith for this company. We had no knowledge of those two technologies, and then also push hard in the area of consumer business. Because this company never really had any broad understanding of what consumer business meant. And that journey started maybe about 15 years ago. So it's a company still in transformation, job not complete. A lot of exciting parts of the journey are yet to be reached and traveled.
Sure, that's exciting. What would be one of the main challenges in doing this?
I think the main challenge when you make such a big transformation is getting people who believe in it. So I think the toughest part for me was to, in the early stages, to recruit people to come and say, join this, because there will be so many people asking questions, can you do it, can you not do it? But once you have some success, people start to join. And I think the second big challenge is how do you not lose the core essence of the company while you transform? When I say core essence is about, do you have the same value system? I see no reason why our values have to change as the company changes. We still need to deliver to consumers, whether they are industrial consumers or whether they are home, household buyers. So I think those basic values need to remain constant as we transform the company.
I can see it's a very exciting time to be a part of Tata Chemicals.
It is, and I think it's exciting time, not just in Tata Chemicals, it's exciting time across the industry. I think one of the things I would certainly say, not just focusing on Tata Chemicals across the Tata Group, I think with the presence in so many businesses, and each one of our businesses are undergoing huge transformation, whether it be impact of digital, whether it be impact of the way the markets are changing, whether it be impact of overall competitive environment we live in today. I think the best is yet to come.
Coming to the TAS program, it's been around for 60 years. I'd like to know your views of the program from an organizational perspective and how you feel that the program is adding to the group.
I think TAS was a pretty much, again, very pioneering thought leadership by this group, way ahead when it really was needed. I think this group started investing in talent, group started investing in management depth and leadership 60 years ago. And I think what you see as a pipeline of leaders who have come through, it's an impact of the effort the group has consistently put in. So one of the things Tata stands for is, I think, a long-term investment, whether it be in capital, money terms or people terms, it is about long-term investment. I think this program is a clear demonstration of that. There are many, many times we've gone through difficult times. 1990, for example, when India liberalized, I think all the companies went through pain. And I think if it was not for the management depth, the leadership depth we had at that time, many companies went under. Many of the large groups in this country don't exist today, those who existed in 1990, because they couldn't handle the transformation. But it's because of the leadership depth we can handle these difficult times.
You worked with many TAS managers in your career. What is your expectation and Tata Chemicals' expectation of the TAS managers that it works with?
I would say one thing about TAS managers, again, what I was told when I joined, don't expect a special treatment. You still have to go through the same grind as any other manager would go through. In fact, you have to justify yourself a lot more because you're being looked up to and looked up to lead in future. So your conduct and your focus and your efforts have to be that much more than what one would expect from the other members of the team. So you need to give a lot more to the organization just because of the privileged position a task manager occupies. In return for that privileged position, of course, you get challenging assignments. You get to see different things at a much younger age, which other people may not get to see. But that's an outcome of putting that focus, putting that effort. So I would simply say that while we are very careful in recruiting and getting the best of the breed in, we also give them the best inputs, but we expect equally that those managers and those leaders also reciprocate with that extra mile and extra effort.
True, you have to
And
earn
they
it.
have not disappointed up till now.
True, you have to earn it.
Yeah.
Great. This morning we were calculating how long you've been in the group, and we realized that you've spent over 2 decades now in the group. So, how have you noticed, your leadership style change over this period?
We are a lot more egalitarian today. We have a lot more democratized power today because the information is a lot more democratized. It's not centralized, and that effectively means the leader's role also is that much more different from what it was before. And effectively, it's about managing expectations and managing the varied needs of the fresh youngsters who are coming in, and at the same time supporting the organization to move through that change. So I really think if you leave the basic values aside, if you leave the issues like care, the focus on employee welfare, all that aside, I think the style itself today is, I would say, less singular or authoritative, for want of better word. It is much more team play, much more collaborative. So I think these are all changes which have happened. And also, this is a less hierarchical, but I would hasten to add that if I want to see one big shift in this organization, is that it needs to get even less hierarchical than what it is today. I think we are used to too many structures. The world of tomorrow is not going to live by structures. It is going to live by capability and capacity to deliver. And the structures have to align to those capabilities rather than capabilities aligning to structure.
Interesting evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you were to look back at your career and do one thing differently, what would it be?
If I were to sort of say, what is that one thing you want to change the clock back or do differently, I think my time when I ran the plant, Mithapur, I would have been far more caring of people than I was. I probably was wanting to get results too fast. Probably people saw the the person who sort of like a bull rushed through many of the decision. So if you see today, I would be far more measured than what I was. That being said, every action had only a good intent at the end, but I would be far more measured. That's really because I think leaders' imprint and shadow is far longer, and one learns it over a period of time.
Okay, finally, some tips for young task managers.
I would simply say this, that enjoy the journey. It's a privilege you have as a task manager, the position you get, and give it your more than 100, 110%. I think passion and being in the area which you enjoy does a lot more to your career than anything else. I think you need to just follow your heart, but give it your best.
I'd like to thank you for having this conversation.
It's very delightful to be here, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you.